This is my ID, and this is my keyword outline. All right. There are almost 27,000 children diagnosed with life-threatening illnesses each year. What many do not know about these illnesses is what effects they have and who is and what is there to assist them. The Make-A-Wish Foundation is an international organization that provides extraordinary experiences to diagnose children and their families. First, I'll talk about how children lose the aspects of their lives throughout treatment. Then I'll talk about the mental impact that the sickness has on the family and the child. And then after that, I'll talk about how the Make-A-Wish Foundation assists families who have been affected by that. And lastly, I will state how and what happens when they're picked. So let's start with the effects of the treatment that the treatment brings to children. Throughout treatment, the children lose many aspects throughout their lives. The first one being that their childhood is basically completely stripped from them. They miss out on a lot of physical activity, and which is completely essential for a child's life. When experiencing the pain and fatigue from the sickness, they lose the motivation to try and go outside and feel the need to get moving around. In the younger years, it's extremely beneficial for development. Within the treatment, there are limits to who the patient will be able to see. So seeing people is one of the most beneficial things for a child, no matter the age. Human interaction is one of the most important things. Without seeing these people, they can't go out and bond with their friends or family. Some physical aspects that are lost is one of the main ones is hair loss, which when childs lose their hair, they start having self-doubt. And a research that was done by Children's Cancer and Leukemia Group shows that 35% of children with cancer experience bullying or teasing when going back to school and going back to home. This is obviously something that is really hard to go through, and with the families that experience that too. Hearing loss is another physical thing that can be damaged throughout treatment. The radiation can screw up their ears, and obviously being able to hear is one of the most important things. With a blockade for your hearing, it can impact everything that you do daily. Physical impacts are just a small portion of what the treatment does. Next, I'm going to talk about how the illness affects those around them. These diagnoses take a mental toll on everyone that is impacted by this disease. The children diagnosed have a completely changed mental health, either during or after. Being away from school is one of the biggest problems that happens with it. From being absent, they can lose motivation from wanting to try in school. Some treatments also can affect the mental aspects that they have of, which can relate to causing learning difficulties and disabilities. If still in treatment, or if they're after treatment, their mental health will never be the same. By being away from the friends and family, it makes them feel a sense of isolation, meaning that they don't have like really anyone there, and they feel alone. A statistic shows from the CCLG shows that 55% of parents said that their child felt isolated in the hospital, and 47% of which felt isolated when they went back to school with their friends. With this, the family goes through a lot of stress. When figuring out the diagnosis, they are not given any idea to cope with this diagnosis. Many families would experience depression and anxiety with their child being sick. On top of no assistance, they also get the really bad and high medical bill. And not only do the children feel this way, but the parents and family feel isolated without their kid there, feeling that they're alone without him. Now that we're done with the problems of the childhood illness, I'll now talk about a foundation that is set to help. The Make-A-Wish Foundation strives to assist those who have been affected by the sickness. Make-A-Wish originally started with an inspiration from a little boy in Phoenix. The boy's name was Christopher James Grecius, and he was 7 years old and who was diagnosed with leukemia. When he believed that he wanted to be a police officer when he grew up, and his little community in Phoenix, came together and made his little wish come true. And this eventually turned out to be the creation of Make-A-Wish in the later years of that. The first kid who was a Make-A-Wish kid was Frank Salazar, and after this, it just kind of skyrocketed. It gained a ton of, it just gained a lot of, like, people were starting to see it now. This foundation, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, grants designated wishes, and it hopes to give the children strength and the family strength to keep fighting with their illness. A study done by the Nationwide Children's Hospital shows that kids who got their wish were more likely to have unplanned hospital visits and emergency visits. This research is beneficial for other doctors to use this strategy and to use it more as a treatment throughout the world. Their wishes give them something to look forward to that is outside of their treatment and what they've gone through every day. It kind of gives them a sense of normality and kind of brings them back to their old life. Make-A-Wish has helped children's mental health more than any other organization has. Now that I talked about what Make-A-Wish does, I will show you the process of how they are picked and what happens then. So this is a referral form for Make-A-Wish, and basically it shows how you can go through it. Children can be selected with the criteria. If they are 3 to 18 years old, Make-A-Wish does not help adults, even though there's other organizations that do. They just want to stick with kids. They have to also be diagnosed with a critical illness or disease, and some of these are like childhood cancer, muscular dystrophy, and neurological diseases. When picked, the family gets to experience the child's wish with expenses covered. So like trips and toys or things that they want are all covered, and they get to experience this and kind of go back to their old life, and it helps with their sickness to fight it. Today we looked at Make-A-Wish and how it is an international organization that provides extraordinary experiences to children and their families. I talked about how many aspects they lose, how the mental impact is, and how Make-A-Wish Foundation strives to assist the families, and how it is pick and chose. As you leave, I hope that you all enjoyed and learning about hearing the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Woo! Yeah.